Welcome to Sovereign Temples, where we are going on a full moon illumination exploration. And this is that time to allow yourself to go inward and to set the intention to use the auspicious blessings of the full moon light. And we just had the Beltane. I want to just take a moment. You can always just fast forward right to the meditation, which is listed below, the time that it starts. But if you think about the season that we're in right now, right? Like, it is time that we stop the madness of thinking that the way that we live in spring and summer is the way that we live in winter. And for far too long, we've been operating on the Gregorian calendar, and even something as crazy as New Year's, like happening in the dead winter, right after winter solstice, when your body, if you're in the northern hemisphere, is actually designed to be in immense rest as an active principle for regeneration. So, if you think about, okay, well, we just had the spring equinox back in March, and then the Beltane is that midpoint between spring equinox and summer solstice, which happened on the 1st. That's really when I allow myself to honor the heating up of the minerals of my body that are ready to be in action. And the full moon, if you look at the phases of the moon, the full moon is symbolizes the summer solstice energy, right? Peak light. And so right now, through the power of your intention, and intention, as Wayne Dyer spent a lot of his life's work going into, it is one of the most powerful things to actually understand, because it sets into motion everything in terms of co-creating your world your way. And we have these elements of earth, air, fire, and water, these directions of the north, the south, the east, the west, that we can harness. And summer solstice really, for us, again, in the northern hemisphere, with this level of heat and light coming through, use this for your greatest expansion and support. Allow it to support you in this massive growth phase. And so, this is a time too. It's like, okay, well, the hatchlings are coming of like baby birds, and like, what are they going to be doing during summer solstice? Learning to fly, efforting in terms of getting out of the nest and flying. Doesn't matter if they fall down a couple times, right? They're going to try again. And so with this full moon illumination being in Sagittarius, thinking about the archer, and thinking about the ability to pull back. So I want to invite you, if you have had a scenario in your life where you feel like it's been a downward spiral, remember, what goes down must go up. And just as the archer has to pull back to get enough resistance, enough tension. See, I don't believe in constantly being in quote unquote balance. I believe in living in tune with nature's seasons and cycles. And I believe in the power of, there's sometimes you want a lot of resistance that life, our higher self, provides to us through opportunities that many people want to call challenges or problems, right? It's all how we look at things. Change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. And so right now, with the power of your intention and to invoke your higher self, to maximize the luminosity of this moon and to completely surrender to miraculous support through illumination in where your higher self is able to offer you an insight My intention on anything I ever do is never to, tell you, to give you an answer, or to direct you in any which way other than surrendering to listen to your higher self that is the ultimate teacher, ultimate guide, the one that can serve you beyond any external person ever talking. And so my intention is always just to create that container space for you to go in. And so that's what we're going to do, is ask our higher selves to say, okay, hey, where is my arrow ready to go? As summer solstice energy is, really amping up. We're moving into summer solstice. We just passed the midpoint of spring equinox and summer solstice. We just had that Beltane, right, on May 1st. Where my attention goes, things grow. And especially in the US, with like being an election year and all these things that want to disassociate us and fragment us, our attention and our focus to externals, as within, so without. So where within can I call upon the divine masculine light? Where can I be receptive and empty in nothingness, the divine feminine, to receive? Where can I receive this divine masculine light? To be laser focused on what it is that my heart is truly ready for me to step into. And this might be stepping into being very active about getting disciplined about an inner practice, if you have not been doing that. This might be a time that our higher self reveals to us a very clear point of action of needing to connect with more people, needing to learn another skill, whatever it is, it is. So the feminine, the goddess, is all about I am not. I am not. So society has programmed us to think that action is always going to be getting a task done, accomplishing something towards success, that you have this destination that when you hit it, I'll be happy when syndrome. And that's not what we're talking about here when we're talking about pulling our arrow back to then be laser focused and pointing on a target. This target, I want to invite you to check in and see if this aligns for you, is the target that your higher self is showing you in terms of the feeling in which will be generated because of the alignment that you create in going after that target, right? And aligning yourself with that target, that sight, that clear line of sight, that then the resistances that have been happening in your life, because I assure you, if you look at some of the challenges and obstacles and quote unquote problems that we want to label it as, those can actually be the greatest fertilizer to plant your seeds and to grow them, right? And right now is still planting season. In many states, planting season goes all the way through June, right? And so and then obviously you can always plant, then the colder ones, but for those good things like watermelons and stuff. I love watermelon. I digress. So I really want you to think about, though, okay, setting the intention to allow anything that has quote unquote been a descent in your life that we like to label as not as good as an ascent, or that's a problem or a challenge. And we're going to ask our higher self to really reveal to us any messages that beautiful compost, the good gardener, knows how to turn shit and just literally trash into the most magnificent fertilizer. So let us invite our higher self to show us how to be world-class composters of anything that has pulled the archer's arrow back to then target, to send our arrow to the target. And I want you to think about the target of the feeling. Like, what do you feel like you've been longing for? If it's more money, then it's to feel probably secure, to have security. If it's a relationship of someone to love and feel connected with, it's the feeling of love and connection, right? You need nothing outside of you to assume a feeling, because you are everything. You have God breathing through you, the Holy Spirit breathing through you. That gives everything. So it's like you have that already, and it's tapping into that feeling. If it is a promotion at work, if it's not for the more money, if it's to be recognized, it's to, be recognized by your peers. It's a self-recognition and a self-acceptance, right? So thinking about what is a feeling, I want you, again, think of the target. If you're like, okay, I really have a goal to make X amount of sales next month. Why? What feeling is that going to give you? Is it going to give you the feeling that I've done a really good job? Is it, okay, well, this amount of money means I've served this many people. Well, how does that feel to know that you've served so many people and their lives have changed, and and what that means then for your family? Or how does it feel then to take that and take your kids on a vacation, right? And be in nature, and your kids playing with earthworms and the dirt. Like when I ask you to focus on the target, that is my invitation to you, is allow your higher self to offer you the feeling of the target versus the actual thing. The feeling is the vibration. And when we get so fixated on the target as the thing, we always feel like we're one step away from it. But when we can remember we need nothing to change or to gain in order for us to assume a feeling that is accessible to us through being children of the Most High, that is where your magnetic attraction can start to create miracles in the world of form for you. And so that is my intention, is to create an exploration with this moon energy with you all in this glorious time. So with all of that, let us begin to take some deep breaths. In through the nose, out through the mouth. And remembering that nature does not hurry, yet everything is accomplished. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Just taking a sigh of relief that you are in the right place at the right time for your highest good. And just offering yourself some compassion for any of the descents that you have been going through. Some people might call it dark night of the soul. Some people challenges, problems, just really offering yourself the vase of compassion. Compassion for any self-sabotage, any limiting beliefs. There's no need to pretend that what's you're feeling is not real. It's to witness it and offer compassion so that we can create space. Spaciousness is an act of the divine, is a divine principle. Spaciousness is what contains everything. It's a very feminine principle, as feelings are often associated with the feminine. I just want to really invite you to now be as empty as you can through a breath in through the nose, out through the mouth, and just fully empty. As we now say a prayer to invoke our higher selves and calling upon all of the elements of earth, air, fire, and water, and space. El Kalim Om. Breathing into all of these elements are making up your body. Commune with them for a moment. Thank the minerals. Thank your flesh. Thank the fire, the electricity beating your heart, warming your body. Thank the water coursing through you, your blood. Thank all the spaciousness. Inviting the four directions to come into our awareness of just the north, the south, the east, and the west, and the solar energy and the lunar energy, and just how perfect all of these cycles are, and that we are a part of it. And Holy Mother, Holy Father, we call out to be in communion with you and to use all that you have given us through the elements and form to ride the wave of consciousness and surrendering into knowing nothing, so that we may experience the bliss and the joy of being spacious enough to receive divine revelation from our own higher self. Our higher self, the one giving this body life through the Holy Mother and Holy Father's reflection, endowed with divine qualities to create anything from nothing, and being willing to friend our ego and invoking our higher selves to bring to our awareness any challenge, problem, obstacle, or dissent that has those labels that have been causing us to have feelings that are letting us know that we might not be in alignment with where our heart and higher self are guiding us to go, but that it is still all perfect and part of the plan, surrendering into trusting. Higher self, we invoke you to illuminate to our awareness anything that we have been descending through that is allowing us to have resistance. Just allowing whatever's coming up to come up. There's no right or wrong. If nothing is coming up, that's great too. Invoking Kuan Yin, goddess of compassion, to pour her vase of compassion into these feelings of resistance or any fear or doubt or unworthiness, shame, guilt, numbness, comparison, judgment. Just that these are sacred, holy messengers too, not to be ashamed of or to banished, but to be witnessed and given thanks for their ability to inform us as we can alchemize anything. Just seeing this water, compassion, just just really even pulling your arrow back further, I want to take a moment and just imagine an arrow, an archer that has an arrow. Just use your imagination. It's okay if you can't see it. I know you know what an arrow looks like, and just pulling it back. And just seeing all this compassionate water strengthening that pullback. On the bow, there's the word. So that the arrow can go. Now, thinking about this arrow and all that these challenges or obstacles have blessed you through blessings, or maybe more compassion, more love, more clarity. Just allowing all of this to begin to get very illuminated in this season of an increasing solar presence along with a full moon energy. Just how you are a magnificent being who is an alchemist. The alchemist is able to transmute one thing into another through the power of their intention. Just again, allowing yourself to just see your bow being pulled back, more and more resistance to it, like it's almost going to pop, and this arrow that you have on it is so strengthened, so many lessons, such a strong arrow. Now I want you to take your third eye, your imagination, and see this target in front of you. Invoking the higher selves and calling upon Isis and White Buffalo Woman to assist in eyesight, the inner eyesight for revealing to our consciousness that which is for our highest good, illuminated directly to us from our own higher selves on this target that is of our heart's desires. It is our divine mission for where we are right now in this moment of time. With no comparison to anyone else's target. Higher self reveal to us as we have this target that we are aiming for. Why are we aiming for it? What is it in reaching this target? Do we feel it would extend to us through feeling of more love, feeling of more success, feeling of more connection, more security, feeling of being seen as someone good enough? Over these next few silent minutes, I'm going to invite you to be in communion and to use your ability to use your vision where you're seeing all of these obstacles and challenges that have been preparing you as blessings that are offering you such a strong bow and such a powerful pullback, as your arrow is now your intention. And this arrow's intention is looking straight at a target. Higher self illuminated moon, strong solar energy, Holy Mother, Holy Father, bless our inner eyesight with this target through the power of a resonant feeling. Right now, we surrender to your miraculous grace in offering us this gift. Breathing into this illumination with your higher self, breathing through you, communing with all that is, and knowing that all of the elements all around you in the spaciousness, the Holy Mother and Holy Father, it is their delight to give you the kingdom, and that you need do nothing, and you need not actually hit any target to feel what it is that you think in achieving that thing will give you. However, riding the arrow, jumping on it like a little kid or riding a unicorn, that is where the joy is found. And inviting yourself to remember that you can be joyful, use pleasure, use orgasm, use making love, cooking, time with family, creating, having conversations that can even be hard, but that you're willing to be honest and in integrity and communicate in beautiful ways. And that you can purge out a closet, create space in your home. That you can snuggle with your dog, your kids. And that you can be learning something in business and sales and marketing and advertising and just getting a little bit better through allowing yourself to simply ride the arrow on the way to the target. And remembering it is always the feeling not the thing, that is what is magnetizing more to you. So take a deep breath and invite your higher self, allow me to always empty when I notice any racing thoughts, or I start to label any type of dissent feelings as negative. Remind me to use these sacred, holy navigation tools to remind me that I simply might have just gotten off my arrow of intention. And offer me present moment guidance in the present moment that can always then allow me to shift my focus, to navigate, to grab a different arrow, a different bow, whatever is in the present moment. Higher self, illuminate my consciousness to be in the present moment with you, to receive direct revelation in the now, versus this need to make this whole action plan Action plans are beautiful. I absolutely receive them when you guide me, but to remind me that it is in the present moment that I can access a feeling so that I may know which action steps are right in that present moment to ride the arrow to my intention, focused on the thing that will generate the feelings. And that is the feelings that are the gift, more so than the actualization of the thing, which I also absolutely am worthy of receiving. My manifestations inform the desires of my heart to birth anything from nothing, but reminding me that I need nothing outside of what I have inside to already generate feelings of wholeness, of worthiness, of success, of love, of connection, because I am connected to you and you are the one that births and sustains all things through me. Allow me to move forward in this summer solstice rising energy and this full moon illumination right now for my highest good and the highest good of all. I now close this inner exploration with reverence and gratitude, for it is done, it is done, it is done, and so it is. Om. We'll see you next time on Sovereign Temples. I look forward to communing with you very soon again. All my love and light. Namaste.